Morning. Didn't realize my camera was going to start. Oh, I gotta love these newer smartphones. I need to really trim up this a little bit. It's getting a little wild. So I know my last video didn't really come off. At least I don't feel like it really came off all that well. There are a lot of good things about this company. RTI treats me pretty good overall. There are a lot of frustrating things, like another driver that I talked to. He's kind of in the same boat as I am. He's a lease purchase driver. A lot of us over here are lease purchase drivers, and a lot of us lease purchase drivers, we all talk. So I'm kind of at the same standpoint as he is. I love working for RTI. I love this company. But I'm literally at that point, just like he is, to where it is like he jokes around all the time. One minor inconvenience and I'm gone, kind of thing. I don't know. Like I said in the beginning when I started this journey with you guys, I wanted to be open and honest and tell you guys the good, the bad, and the ugly, and show you everything, and show you what you could be making, what you couldn't be making, show you guys my journey. And I kind of noticed my last video I did a lot of talking about a lot of negatives. At that time I was pretty upset. But the company's not all that bad. Does it have its issues? Yes. Did I currently deal with some of its issues? Yes. Do I have an opinion on those issues? Of course I do. It's frustrating when you come into a company and they tell you, hey, we have top-notch equipment, we have all this stuff, and then you're constantly calling breakdown and dealing with breakdown because of something with the trailer or something with the truck. Or if you're like a lease purchase driver as I am, or even if you're not and a company driver and you have an APU, they are using an older generation APU and they are constantly breaking down. So yeah, there's just a lot of little tiny things. There's a lot of that do add up, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of big things. Like currently I'm really hoping that my driver manager pulls a miracle out his ass and gets me some miles. I picked up the load that I'm currently delivering this morning. I'm currently actually in the dock for it. Last Tuesday, flat out told my driver manager I wasn't going to be making it on the delivered scheduled time. He said, okay, well, we'll figure something out. I'll find somebody to relay it to you. Nothing ever came of it. They had multiple drivers that I ran into while I was out in the places that that they were thinking about having me switch off with, that I ran into. But they kept me on the load, literally kept me on the load. Didn't really communicate with me. And I got a little call basically complaining to me, going, hey, why didn't you get this in on time? What time did you get this picked up? And I understand that they're probably a little irritated as well, especially seeing how for some reason these loads that we pick up to bring to this DC here in Iowa, we seem to have issues with as a company. There's a lot of us who do really well, but getting these loads, like this is the third time I've been here. First time I made it early, super early. Second time I made it, but the appointment time that I was given was completely wrong. And then now this time the company ended up having to reschedule it. So, which really sucks, because then, like I said, going back to me saying that my driver manager needs to hopefully can pull a miracle out his ass, is our payday cutoffs, our pay week cutoffs are Tuesday, basically Tuesday at midnight till Tuesday to Tuesday. So it's now Monday, and I sat and did a 34 over the weekend, and I am barely a little over 1,700 miles for the week. And if that's all I get for this week, I'm screwed on my pay settlement. I'm not going to get a lot of money. I'm going to actually probably owe money, especially with the amount that for some reason, these last 2 weeks have been, my truck's just been guzzling diesel down, and I've had to spend a shit ton. Like this load by itself, I've spent if I did my math correctly, I didn't really add it up all that well. Probably about $1,200 in fuel for this run. So for just a little over 1,700 miles. So obviously, that's a lot of money. They finally hooked up to me. Cool. So sorry if I'm bouncing around. It's because they've hooked up to me. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I don't really know what to say about. Obviously, communication needs to be better. They need to bring in some people to help with that with communication issues. Stop overworking the staff inside the office. My driver manager alone has, I think, 40 plus drivers of us, and we're all lease purchase. So, yeah, I think that, like one of my other guys, one of the other drivers have said, I think they probably should bring in people and make them be a company driver for 90 days to see if they can actually be a lease driver. Because there's a couple of drivers that I've talked to that are lease purchase, and not all of them, but there are a couple that are just constantly, hey, I'm not doing it. I can't seem to get this figured out. Hey, I can't seem to get this figured out. Hey, I'm not doing well in this. And you can give them advice, and they sit there and they look at you and go, well, I'm not doing that. I've been driving in this business for too long. I'm not doing that. I know better. Well, if you know better, then do better. Do what you're supposed to, what you were hired on to do, and whatnot. That way you can actually make miles and make money. Also, obviously, if you see an issue with a trailer, then call it in and get it fixed. Stop leaving it for the next driver. That's a whole nother story, though. Depending on who you get in breakdown, there is a gentleman, I can't remember his name, I had to deal with him this weekend, that is just plain out an asshole. So he does not give a fuck about the driver, and he makes it very aware that if you call in and you're complaining, or not even complaining, reporting an issue to him, he makes it sound like you're bugging him and you're an inconvenience and whatnot. Like, I called in about 3 tires. 2 of the 3 tires he put in there correctly that needed to get changed. The 3rd one he didn't do. When the tire people came out, they replaced the ones that he put in, not the other way around. So, and then he got pissed off when he said, well, let me guess, you're done for your day? Yeah, I'm done for the day. I'm not driving anywhere. I'm stopped literally down the street for my delivery and whatnot. So, just be aware there's that issue too. There is a breakdown person that makes it very clear that he's annoyed that he's even working in breakdown. So, and he's annoyed that you're calling him to get something fixed. So, especially if you're a driver like me. This is the third time I've had to deal with him where I refuse to budge at all. I'm like, nope, you're gonna come to me. I'm out here on the road. I'm not in your little cushy office area. So overall, like I said, I don't even now that I'm looking at it, this video's coming off a little strong about negatives. there's I don't know, this last 3 weeks or so, a lot of the negatives of the company have been very have come to light. If I can speak, it's Monday morning and I haven't woke up, haven't finished my coffee. So yeah, the company overall is still a good company, I think. Like most companies, it has its issues. There's miles here. It's a pain in the ass because you got to pull teeth to get them. So just be aware of that if you decide to come on. There are miles here, but you got to pull teeth to try to get those. On top of the fact that because they don't have a lot of customers, a lot of your loads will probably be brokered loads. So we'll see how loud this guy's older Freightliner is when he comes drive by. So excuse me while we wait. Yeah, overall though, I think the company's still pretty good. We'll see how things go with my if my driver manager is able to pull a miracle out of his ass for me, and whatnot. If not, I don't know, it might be the final straw that broke the camel's back. I don't know. So I mean, I don't have a lot of options. I have a few. Unfortunately, because of my history, these last 3 years, because I wanted better and because I was a local driver living at a Washington state, out of the Portland area, I did a lot of jumping around like a dumbass. So I don't have a really good work history these last 3 years because I've had a lot of jobs. So my ability to get hired on with other companies are kind of pretty slim to none. I mean, I have obviously a couple of options other than RTI. RTI is kind of one of those options where they are your last option. They don't really, at least when I got hired on, as long as it's not super bad, it's not, they didn't seem like they cared the amount of jobs I had. But then again, that should right there tell you a lot about this company. It's a huge revolving door, unfortunately. High turnover rate. Another company, I think that's one of the reasons why I'm not really jumping at leaving right now, unless things start really getting really bad, is because the other options I have, they have really bad turnover rates too, and one of them is the worst in the country that I've seen. They are the second largest refrigerated privately owned company in America, and if you have been in the trucking industry long enough, you should know who that is. I'm not going to say their name, but yeah. Hopefully my driver manager pulls a miracle out his ass and I can get some miles. So well, I guess that's all I'm going to talk about this morning. So stay tuned for the weekly review, and I guess you'll find out if my driver manager came through for me. All right, guys, drive safe. Keep the shiny side up.
I haven't done it yet. I may do it. If this doesn't work out, probably I will do it. I would almost say definitely.
Alright guys, so doing my review for these last couple weeks, and man, it's been a struggle. I mean, I guess the only comforting thing is that I'm not the only one out of all the other lease purchase drivers that I've actually talked to. Well, at least one other that I talked to. I'm not the only one struggling. I don't know if somebody in corporate or whatever has watched my videos, or somebody who has bitched and complained because I was making some pretty good miles or whatnot, but these last couple of weeks and this next week coming up is looking horrible. Yeah, I barely pulled out of my ass these last couple of weeks. Thankfully, the store up there in Old Town, Idaho, the Tractor Supply, they took me early to where I could actually get some miles. Otherwise, I would have been well under 2,000 miles. Would have been the same thing this paycheck that you'll see for this pay stub. If it wasn't for miraculously pulling some miles out my ass, because I was given a load that they knew damn well I wasn't going to be able to make, but they gave it to me anyways, and then took their sweet time to find somebody to try to cover it, and then they never did find anybody to cover it, so I ended up sitting and waiting all weekend and delivering it on a Monday. But thankfully I pulled out another little over 700, close to 800 miles out my ass in the 2 days for the miles wise out of them, which barely gave me anything for money as well. Fuel costs have been killing me as well. The load I took from Lewiston, Idaho down to Quata or whatever the fuck the town is in Iowa, I spent well over $1,200 in fuel, and it's just unacceptable. I mean, something needs to change when it comes at least to the fuel thing. They need to do like one of the other companies I was with that I was pretty successful with on a lease purchase. They need to fluctuate the pay to the national average, in my opinion, for diesel. So if the diesel goes up, then your pay goes up. If diesel goes down, then yeah, unfortunately your pay goes down. But it always had a minimum where you never got below that mark. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. And like I said, coming on a third week now, I'm barely making any miles. Tomorrow will be Friday, so 3 days into the paycheck, and I've barely made over 500 miles. Very much bullshit. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, barely over 500 miles and whatnot. I spent today, before stopping to make this video, I spent today at least close to 2 hours trying to find an empty. They brought me up to a customer, told me, hey, it's a live unload. No. The customer decided, the customer says, oh no, you're a dropping hook. Go drop your trailer here and then go look for a trailer. They're, out of the 2 locations that they have, because I've sent to both locations, there was a total of at least 10 or 11 trailers of RTIs not even touched, completely loaded. So this customer's literally having us bring in trailers, but then not unloading them. So then my driver manager that tried to help me out sends me up north another 40 miles to go try to find trailers, because supposedly in their system there's 3 trailers showing that they're empty. I show up, guess what? No trailers. And there's another driver that's already up there in the same situation that I am, right along with waiting for a trailer and waiting to be told what to do. When I was at my other customer, there was another driver there too, where she was waiting for an empty trailer. So there's 3 of us up here in this area, in the Green Bay area, the whole area through here, waiting for needing an empty trailer. Even if I got an empty trailer and I got my load that went down, got it loaded and it was going down to Owensboro, I would have been barely over 1,000 miles by 3 days in. This go around being out on the road from home time has been shit. Just to be open and honest with you. Like I said, I don't know if somebody in corporate or whatnot has watched my videos, and that is why I'm struggling for miles. I mean, there are a couple of drivers, according to the other driver I talked to, that I'm not the only one that's struggling for these miles, because he's struggling as well. But this is getting ridiculous. It's going to be going on almost 3 weeks straight where I'm going to be clawing and scraping and whatnot, just trying to get miles. Especially this week is the worst one so far. The one where I'm right here where I'm making this video. Like I said, just a little over 500 miles. And tomorrow's Friday. That will be 3 days into the pay period. I have 4 days left. And I still got to find an empty. So, yeah. I know these last couple of videos have not been very good videos. Me not talking a lot of good about the company. I have not a lot of good to say about them right now. I mean, the good, and that's just from my experience. I mean, I still love working here. I love dealing with the people I deal with. I love my driver manager. He works his ass off to try to get me the miles. But this is getting ridiculous. That I might have to, whether I want to or not, leave the company and go to the other company that has a much higher turnover rate. Mainly because they're a refrigerated company, and at least with a refrigerated trailer, I could pull both reefer stuff and dry van stuff and have a much easier time to get home, because where I live there in Idaho, if you're a truck driver, you know in Idaho it's a lot of potatoes out there, a lot of reefer freight. I'd have a much easier time getting home and coming off of home time. Sorry, I gotta fly. I was down in Chicago this morning picking up a load of fucking trash. That's what I brought up here, was a load of freaking trash to from one recycling plant to another. And then this load that I'm supposed to take down to Owensboro is another recycling load. So, yeah. You'll see in my video, not in my videos, but here at the end of this video, you'll see my pay stubs. You'll see my struggle that I've had these last couple weeks. And I really hope that I can get this to turn around. So far, I'm really, really considering walking away from it, and like I said, going to the other company. But then again, there's a lot of, at least I know what to expect here. there I don't really know what to expect. So sorry guys. I mean, I told you in the beginning I'd be very truthful with you. I'm gonna try to stick it out. I'm gonna try to stay positive. But I'm basically broke. All the savings I did have, I've gone through it. So it just takes 1 week. Literally right now, just 1 week, and I'm fucked. And I know that's none of your guys' concern or anything else, but yeah. Unfortunately, in this industry, especially with a lease purchase and even an owner op, because there's owner ops that I've talked to that are struggling. That you're literally one bad week away from losing it all. So I'm hoping to turn it around. I have plans to do things with my kids on the weekend of my birthday, and whatnot. But if I can't make any money, then I mean, if I'm not making the miles to make the money, then obviously I'm gonna have to scrap those. So that's about all I'm gonna cover today. Like I said, I'm for these week's reviews, I'm not a very happy camper right now. So do with this information as you guys will. So see you guys on the next video.